with that, with me explaining that to you. And again, if you look at my videos, A Word with Block, I got at least 3 videos where I'm talking about that. Um, Once I do my editing and everything to this video, I will put the links on this video. So now I'm gonna talk about the movie Disclosure Day. I keep forgetting which one it is, but yeah, I went to see the movie. It was long, but you know, Steven Spielberg, he did his thing. Um, it wasn't as dope as you would think it would be. It looked like an upgraded ET. But so here's the thing about that movie that I noticed. Okay, one thing, because I do believe that him and the government has something planned. You know, again, the government just released all these papers, and you have these whistleblowers that talk about all of this extraterrestrial stuff, right? So I do believe that them and Steven Spielberg, you know, and I'm not no conspiracy guy. I'm just, you know, telling you these simple things. I think that there's a plan, that they're working on something. So the Bible tells us that God's very elect will even turn on God's very elect will be deceived, right? You know, so you know somebody that's a devout Christian, you know, that immovable Christian, somebody like me. You know, there's nothing that you can tell me to make me change my mind. But it talks about God's very elect, that something will happen that will deceive them. And I mean, what's more deceitful than you seeing an actual extraterrestrial being? You know, they're talking about there's 5 different types of beings that's that you know that will meet, I guess. I believe that there's a very good chance that that's going to happen, that we're going to actually see these beings. Now, again, I don't believe that they're from a million light year planets away. The Bible been telling us for years about, whoa, y'all see that lightning? The Bible been telling us for years about, let's see, if you think about when the Bible talks about angels, and when the Bible talks about powers and principalities and demonic figures, you know, those are alien. You know, they're not from here. You know what I mean? So you're looking for these extraterrestrial beings from these planets millions of light years away. But the Bible has been telling us all this time about these other beings. And yeah, I do believe that these extraterrestrials are just demonic entities, fallen angels. You know, again, the Bible says that Satan is the prince of the power of the air. So in the movie Disclosure, their goal is to have you for you to have empathy for the extraterrestrials. When you watch the movie, you feel sorry for them. You feel sorry for how they've been treated. You know, when they talk about the Roswell videos, and you know, they talk about all these things that's happening, you know, you feel sorry for them. So that's one goal that you can tell that the movie has. There's one lady who, she got down on her knee and she began to worship this lady who they believe is possibly from another planet, or like, you know, one of the extraterrestrials got to her when she was a little girl and they injected something in her to make her one of them. And you know, the lady got down to worship her, and she was like, no, I will not be no one's religion. But you can tell that that's a goal. At the end, there's this real big extraterrestrial that's sitting in the chair, and it gets out the chair and it gives, you know, the message to the guy, and the guy gives the message to the lady. So when I'm watching this, I'm thinking, okay, so the little extraterrestrial beings are the sons. They're the ones that were sent first, right? Because you know, the Bible did send Jesus. So and when they sent Jesus, what happened to him? Jesus was mistreated. You know, he was crucified. So these little extraterrestrial beings that were sent first, they were treated bad. And then you had the one at the end that was sitting on the chair, right? He was sitting on his throne, right? I hope you have if you have an ear, then you can hear. He's sitting in his chair and he gets up to give a message. What the father extraterrestrial got up out of his throne to come and give us a message.